Hey guys, Matt here. Wanted to do a quick video on one of my Concordia Oaks here I have out in my yard. This tree, I bought it probably about 5 or 6 years ago. It's back whenever the Missouri Department of Conservation first offered the trees for sale, and I got in on the first offering there the first year. They haven't offered them. They may have offered them the second year, but they don't offer them anymore. So this is kind of a rare tree. So anyway, as you know, this is the Concordia Oak is the oak that's purported to be the three-way cross between the I think, if I get this right, it's the dwarf chickapin oak, the chickapin oak, and the swamp white oak, I believe. It's a very rare three-way cross, and like I said, the Missouri Department of Conservation offered these oaks for sale several years ago, but they've had real tough times, I should say, keeping them in stock, and they never know if they're going to have one from year to year. Like I said, this tree is 5 or 6 years old. To me, it's probably more like get my finger out of the camera there. It's probably more like it was at least 2 or 3 years old when I got it from them. So but for the first time, I wanted to show you guys some of the acorns. There's some right there, if you can see them. I don't know if my camera will focus. Right there. This tree is loaded this year, it looks like. When I say loaded, I mean it's got a bunch more acorns than it ever has. Last year, I've got 3 of these trees in my yard, and last year I was able to get 10 acorns from the trees, and I mean, I'm just counting way more than 10 here on this one tree. So maybe things are looking good for these oaks, and I can share some of the acorns around with people that want this tree, because I don't think you're going to be able to get it otherwise. Let's see if I can find some on this one. I don't see them. Usually they're right on the tips of the limbs. Oh, here's a big group. You can see. So I'm pretty excited about this tree. I got it when it was probably about 5 feet tall, and this tree is, I'm a little bit over 6 foot. I'm guessing it's 15 feet tall now. So in the time that I've had it, it's grown, it's doubled in size at least, or probably more than that, at least doubled in size. So they're very good growers, nice looking tree. I haven't done anything to it. I do keep the limbs trimmed off so I can mow around it. I do know that notice that one thing, I need to cut these off right there, but these trees are bad about root sprouting for some reason. So I think that may be indicative of some of the characteristics of the dwarf chickapin oak. You know how they're more of a bush type oak tree than anything else. I just keep those lopped off with a pair of hedge clippers. Not a big deal. Really haven't done any pruning to this tree other than I took a lower branch off right here this last winter, like I said, to make it where it's easier to mow around it with my with the riding lawnmower. Here's some more acorns right here. So this is a good looking tree. If I can walk over here, my yard is so damp. We've had rain just about every day this week, and I think there's more in the forecast. This is another one of the trees. This is tree number 2. It produced a majority of the acorns last year that I got last year. It's a good 15 feet or so tall as well, and as you can see, it's loaded too. It's got acorns on it as well. So it looks like we may have a good Concordia acorn crop this year. And this tree, for whatever reason, produces a little bit bigger acorn than its counterpart over there. There's some more right there. There's some right there. I'm sure there's several up in the top of that thing that I can't see right now. This tree, again, is the same age as the other one I just showed you. So, very nice trees. There's some right there. Some right there. Some right there. I mean, it's loaded, so we are to have a good acorn crop this year. Some right there. If I can keep the squirrels off of them. There's a group right there. Let's see if I can get it in focus for you. Of course, they're very tiny right now, so. This tree, again, was about the same size as the other one I mentioned. I don't have a ruler or anything here handy, but as you can see, it's pretty big in diameter. I'd say probably 2.5 inches or so, 3 inches maybe. I gotta watch out. There's a mockingbird nest in this thing right here, and she'll get you. All right, see if I can go over to my other one without getting all muddy. Maybe a bird nest in this one because I just saw something fly out of it. Okay, this tree, to my knowledge right here, this is the 3rd one that I have in my yard. To my knowledge, this tree has never produced an acorn since I've had it. So it'd be real interesting to see if it does anything this year, being that we've got good crops on the other. This tree is a little bit shorter. It's probably a good 10 feet or so. It's a little bit smaller in diameter. But looky here. I don't know if you can see that. It's very tiny, but I do have an acorn there. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but leaf pattern's way different on this tree than it is in the other trees. So, as you can see the leaf pattern there, it looks more like a swamp white oak or something. I'm not the world's as you can probably tell, I'm the world's foremost expert on oak trees, but it's got a nice different little leaf pattern to it than the other ones, and it's not as dense as the other ones either. You know, as far as foliage goes. I was hoping to find some more on this thing, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen any so far. Bees are obviously to be able to find them, you know, when they get a little larger. I won't have to hunt around as hard. So they're usually around the ends of the branches here. Oh, there's some right there. These are tiny. Okay, so there you have it. Tree number 3 that has not ever produced an acorn. Is producing some this year, so that's a good sign. Like I said, this was sold to me from MDC the same time the other ones were, in the same group, same lot. And as you can tell, as I mentioned, totally different leaf pattern. I'll pick a leaf and bring it over to the other ones. And show you what I'm talking about, so you can, it's easier said than done. Okay. So if I can keep the wind from blowing the leaf away, I'll set it down. Yeah, see, look. I won't have to set it down. I can just hold it up next to it. Find a good spot. I gotta remember about that bird. She'll get me. All right. Look how crazy the leaf pattern's different. Supposedly they're the same tree. They were sold to me as being the same tree. They were shipped to me in the same lot, like I said, but totally different leaf pattern. This leaf pattern is more of a, you know, looks more like a bur oak or something like that to me. We'll go up to the front one again. This one, different leaf pattern as well. So, you know, this one's more of the same type of leaf pattern as the third one I showed you than the one that we just came from. The one that we just came from, to me, looks like it has some it looks like it has some bur oak or some type of white oak or something mixed in with it, other than what a normal, you know, 3-ray cross of a Concordia is supposed to be. I guess what I'm trying to say, I think the tree that I received from MDC is a hybrid Concordia of some fashion or another. I think it crossed again after it was grown at MDC. I think it crossed with another oak species, whether it be a bur oak or something, because the leaves off of this tree, this is the first tree that I showed you. and the leaves off of the third tree are relatively the same. And the acorns that have come off this first tree are much smaller than the acorns that come off the second tree, which I think is a hybrid, if you can get all that straight. I think I got all that straight in my head. So I guess what it boils down into what it all boils down to in a nutshell is what I've identified as tree 1 and tree 3. I think no doubt are related, or Concordia Oaks, or close enough that they could be called Concordia Oaks. And I think what I'm calling tree number 2, the tree that I just came from, that produced noticeably larger size acorns last year than tree number 1. I think it's some type of hybrid Concordia. Pretty tree nonetheless, it's just got different leaf pattern on it. So there you have it, guys. Now that I've completely confused you and made this video way too long. So all of my trees have nuts this year, and I will keep them all separate. I'll keep trees 1 and 3. They look relatively close in parentage. I'll keep them together, and I'll keep the acorns off of tree 2 separately, so that you know, with a leaf, so that you know exactly what you get if you get acorns from me from Concordias this year. All right, guys, take care.